support mature yoga teachers as they get their wisdom out into the world. And today I want to talk to you about 4-7-8 breath and the challenge with it. You know, you see it kind of all over the internet. It's on TikTok, it's on Reels, it's on Instagram, everywhere. You see people talking about the benefits of 4-7-8 breath. And it's deeply problematic for several reasons. One is that breathing ratios are, first of all, they're meant to be getting into slowly. You're supposed to get to, like, if you wanted to do 4-7-8 breath, and I'm not exactly sure why you would, and I'll talk about that in a moment, but you would get to the 7 gradually over several breaths. You step into it. You don't just jump into 4-7-8 breath. That's one reason. The second reason is that breathing practices are also meant in the yoga system to be prepared for through movement. So we move into stillness, as Eric Schiffman famously wrote decades ago. Right? We use movement to help the body prepare for breathing practices. Like, that's the whole system of yoga. You use movement, it prepares you for breathing. You use breathing, it prepares you for meditation. So somebody in a 30-second TikTok video cannot, and saying do 4-7-8 breath, cannot explain all the nuance that students, that clients of healthcare professionals need to understand before engaging in these practices. The other practice I stick in the same category as 4-7-8 breath is Navy SEAL breathing. Like, it's great that Navy SEALs found a ratio that comes from the yoga tradition and then renamed it. That's okay. But it's great that they found the ratio that seems to help them with focus and autonomic control. That's great. However, for many people, asking them to just out of the gate pause their breath for 4 counts is way too much. So we have to get into it slowly. So my request out there to you all, and then out there to the larger wellness world, is just stop using these techniques and saying that they are a cure-all. Recently, I saw a video with a woman saying that you can use 4-7-8 breath and it will improve your fertility. I just, like, that is so irresponsible. I'm sorry. It's irresponsible, because we can't make these kind of blanket statements and then say it's going to solve all your problems without giving anybody any context. What I've found as somebody who's focused on mental health for many, many years, and worked with many, many clinicians, and I've worked with many clients with mental health challenges, what I've found is that one of the worst things we can do is give somebody a blanket prescription and say, this is going to fix it for you, and then have it not work for them, because then they start to internalize these feelings of shame. And there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than shame, because someone says, well, it doesn't work for me. There's something dysfunctional or something wrong with me because it doesn't work. No, the technique was wrong. So let me show you a way. Like, if you want to help people to reduce their cortisol and reduce their parasympathetic activation, and I would never say that this is going to solve any of their problems, but it is a way to help people get into more of a parasympathetic tone in the autonomic nervous system, or more of a parasympathetic mode, I should say, then we can do that with breath. But we want to do some simple preparations. I'm sitting in a chair today, so you can do these in a chair. And then we want to help them get there gradually. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video. Okay. So to begin with, let's start with hands on your chest or close to your chest. And we're going to do some simple movement to help kind of open up some of the respiratory structures. So lower your chin. When you're ready, on the inhale, the arms come wide, the eyes look up. And then when you exhale, the hands float back towards your heart, and the chin lowers. Now you can go faster than me or slower than me. We're going to do about 5 more of these. Inhaling, the arms go wide. And some people like to take their arms a little bit lower when they do this, and some people like to take them a little higher. So you could have the hands go a little lower. And see how that feels in your back, and notice what's going on in your chest and armpit. Some people like a little higher. And you can play with it. right? It doesn't, it's not, there's not one right way here. So we have two more. And you're trying to flow with the breath. Let the breath open you up and let the muscles start to create a little more spaciousness. And then we'll stay here, myofascia. We'll stay here for a few breaths. It's really not just muscles, it's also the fascia. Maybe the palms are facing up, maybe your hands are a little lower, maybe they're a little higher. And then as we stay in the pose, you're just feeling like your inhale creates some more space. It kind of opens you up under your arms and your chest. One more. And then release your hands to your heart. And stay here for a breath. And release your hands down to your lap. And then notice all the sensations that you created in your chest just from that simple movement. In your armpits. Notice your inhale maybe feels a little easier. And then we'll do one more preparation here. So we'll do this 3 times on each side. So left hand touches the chair, right hand says hello. And we're going to use an inhale to go up and over. Diagonally exhale back. So we did a little bit of extension of the spine. So we got some of the chest muscles. Now we're doing lateral flexion. So we get some of the muscles that are under the arms, like the serratus, which is a big muscle of respiration. And then we'll stay here. And the eyes look up, perhaps. Or if your neck doesn't feel good, look down. Or just take a couple breaths into that side body. Don't have to have a straight arm. Just be soft. One more. And release the hand down. And this is a really good one. It's a good moment here to stop and go, what's the difference between my right side and my left side? All the radiant sensations under the right side compared to the left side, just from something so simple. And then the left hand says hello, and the right hand can hold the chair or the arm of a chair if you have an arm on your chair. And we'll do 3 breaths. Inhaling. Use the inhale to massage the muscles from the inside out. So we're pressing into those muscles with the breath. Kind of opening up the breath a little bit, opening up the respiratory musculature, and then we'll stay here. And if you like, you can look up, or if you prefer, you could look down and just take a couple more breaths into the right side, the right armpit. Right waist. One more. And release that hand back down. So typically, I would probably do 5 or 6 more postures. But what we just did is enough for you to feel the difference between going cold into a breathing practice and being ready for it. Now we're going to start the practice. So inhale to the count of 4. And exhale to the count of 4. And as you exhale, focus on engaging the abdomen just a little bit, 10%. Inhale to 4. Exhale to 4. So the first thing is you establish that before you start doing any other ratios. Keep going. Some people maybe are only doing 3 in, 3 out. Some people can do 6 in, 6 out. So the best thing is to find your own ratio. For our purposes here, I'm just going to do 4. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. So you want to do that a few times, right? And kind of get ready. Then you add just a little bit of retention. So inhale 4, retain for 1. And the retain isn't clamping. It feels like you're still breathing in. Just no breath is coming in. Then exhale 4. And do that 2 more times. Inhale 4. Pause for 1. Exhale 4. Engage your belly because that will help you with the exhale. And again. Now, just let your breath go here. So a couple of things you want to clarify. If people are feeling a lot of pressure in their face, their neck, their eyeballs, it's too much, right? So the pause at the end of the inhale is like when you're putting a sheet on a bed. It just, before it floats down, there's a little moment, right? That's what the pause feels like. It's not clenching, it's not turning blue. So that has to be clarified before you can go on. with any kind of retention, that the pause feels like the epiglottis, is it the glottis or the epiglottis? I think it's the glottis stays open. No, it's the epiglottis, sorry, stays open. And it's like more breath is coming in, and then and then you let go. So there's no clamping in the retention. That's such an important point that I never see taught on TikTok. So so now we're going to do 4 counts. It's okay to take a break, So now we're going to do 4 counts in, 2 counts pause, 4 counts out. See how that feels. Is it comfortable? The rule of pranayama, the first rule of pranayama is it's comfortable and easeful. So inhale 4, 2 pause, exhale 4. Now here's where it starts to get really beautiful. Inhale 4, 2 pause, exhale 5. Engage your abdomen because that supports the exhale. Inhale 4, 2 pause, exhale 5. It's going to support your inhale when you use your belly to exhale. Inhale 4, 2 pause, exhale 6. Go faster than me or slower than me. It's totally fine. Let the numbers sound really soothing in your mind. Inhale 4, 2 pause, exhale 6. And you know what? Some people might be like, I'm at the end. That feels good. And I just want to keep doing that. So keep doing that and you do it for about 10 breaths, right? That's the ratio. And then some folks might be like, I can keep going. So 4 counts in, 2 counts pause, 7 counts out. 4 counts in, 2 pause, 7 counts out. 4 in, 2 pause. Now here we are, 8 counts out. That's our goal ratio. We might tweak the pause, but 4 counts in and 2 counts pause and 8 counts out is a lovely ratio. And for many people, they don't need to do any more than that. You could do it 10 times if you like. And then if you still feel like playing a little bit, 4 counts in, 3 counts pause. And it still feels light and easeful. No tension in your neck or pressure in your eyes, easeful. 8 counts out. So maybe you're doing 4-2-6 or 4-2-8 or 4-3-8. All of those ratios are great. And we have to help people find the ratio that works for them. So I'm doing 4-3-8 right now. But actually 4-2-6 felt really good to me today. I might go back to that. And about 10 breaths. The other thing I didn't mention is eyes down or closed can be really helpful for folks. Not talking too much during the ratio can be really helpful. I know I'm talking too much. But in general, just like stop talking, be silent, let it keep going. And the only thing you want to cue as a teacher is just bring your mind back to what we're doing right now. That's it. You're doing 4-2-6 or whatever your ratio is. Okay, so because this is just an informational video, I'm going to wrap it up here. But 4-7-8 would generally be considered an extremely advanced ratio for somebody who's been doing breathing practices for a long time. It's not a beginner ratio. For beginners, what I just taught, like 4-2-6, 4-3-8, many people can handle that, feels really good, calms the nervous system. I would love to hear your comments. So please let me know what you think about this. Let me know about other videos you want me to make too. And I hope this gives you some really good ways to support your students or your clients if you're a clinician in working with the breath that's not going to create shame, but is actually going to affect a real transformation in the nervous system. Thanks so much for joining me.